All set.
Ask if they have a
Please,
studio.
first of all, call the meeting to order, and please rise to the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome our viewing audience this evening. Maybe we can have a quick meeting. Every time I say that, though, we get bogged down. Okay, the first item on our agenda is the minutes of June 21st. Oh, by the way, Steve O'Leary will not be here this evening, so we're going to move on. Minutes of June 21st, 2010, regular and executive sessions. Mr. Prisco.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the June 21st, 2010 regular session minutes as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. Delaney. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the June 21st, 2010 executive session minutes as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. Delaney. Any comments or? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. We have the July 1st, 2010 emergency meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the July 1st, 2010 emergency meeting minutes as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. Delaney. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. And
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the July 6th, 2010 regular session minutes as written.
Second.
motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. Delaney. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. And lastly, executive session, July 6th. Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the July 6th, 2010 executive session minutes as written.
Motion by Mr. Prisco,
Second.
second by Mr. Delaney. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Correspondence, pass the yellow sheets down if there's anything you want. If you want to look at something quickly, it's in the chairman's folder here. Doesn't look like anyone's here for public comment. The ADA proclamation.
Mr.
This is
Chairman,
an annual event. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I move to proclaim July 26th, 2010 as Spirit of the 20th Anniversary of the Americans with Disability Act and read the act attached proclamation.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. Delaney. Any discussion? Just so everybody knows, this is usually an annual event. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. I'll read the proclamation.
You can sign at the bottom.
I, Robert Messeri, Chairman of the Board of Selectmen of North Reading, Massachusetts, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the people of North Reading as an elected official, do hereby proclaim July 26, 2010, as the spirit of the 20th anniversary of the American with Disabilities Act, ADA. I urge all citizens of North Reading, Massachusetts, its community leaders, business and government officials, to celebrate the contributions that people with disabilities have made and continue to make. As Chairman of the Board of Selectmen of North Reading, we renew our commitment to upholding the non-discrimination principles of the ADA. I urge that all citizens support the efforts of the Independent Living Center of North Shore and Cape Ann, Inc., which is the voice of all persons with disabilities and their families. This proclamation is an acknowledgement of the rights of all persons with disabilities under the ADA and their daily activities, struggles, and triumphs here in North Reading. Signed by the Board of Selectmen, and I make a note that I'm adding, sorry, I forgot to shut this off. And I just make a note that there was a letter missing from acknowledgement of the rights. It said of he rights.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item on our agenda. Were you expecting anybody here this evening for the truck exclusion
Yes,
discussion?
I'm expecting representatives of the police department and the engineering department to be present, along with several residents who indicated an interest
Okay,
in
so
being here.
we will skip over that, and we will go to
Mr. Chair?
appointments. Yes.
I have a question, and maybe for the benefit of the audience, when we come across a situation like this, where we have to skip over because we're ahead of schedule. When you have a hearing or a list, or any of our committees, when we have that list in order, are we required to follow that order? With exceptions like this, I understand, but are we required by that?
Well, it depends on if, in the case of something that's published or a specific time for review
Yeah.
of guests or certainly a public hearing, we're obligated to have it in that time frame. Anything else, we just follow what's next on the agenda, or we skip something for one reason or another and come back to it. What's your concern?
No, people have asked me if the policy is that if we have, items 1 through 10, do we always go in that order? Or because we have them listed 1 through 10, are we required to go in that order? Unless there's an exception, for example, we're ahead of schedule.
I think I just specified the only reason, we normally go in an order unless there's a reason to hold up on something. Right. And the only exception would be if we've scheduled a public hearing for a specific time, or we've got guests coming in that we've told them to come in at a specific time, we try to keep on that schedule.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Next item on our agenda is appointments of election workers, and I guess we're gonna wait for that too, is Mrs.
No,
Stats?
Mrs. Stats will not be with us this
Okay.
evening. You have a copy of her communication, together with a copy of the applicable state law. You'll note that in her recommendation, this annually comes before the board during the summer months, during the month of July or the beginning part of August. The appointments will become effective on September 1st. And the clerk has submitted, or should I say the board of registers have submitted, names of individuals. The recommendation would be to appoint the election officers from the list submitted by the registrars, as recommended by the registrars, or option number 2.
Any discussion? Mike, you're all set?
Mr. Chairman, I move to exercise the following option for appointment of election workers for elections held between September 1st, 2010 through August 31st, 2011. The option I'm recommending is appoint election officers from the list submitted by the registers, as recommended by the registers.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. Delaney, and this list is dated June 28, 2010, just to conform with the new laws. This would have to be part of the,
I'm attaching it.
okay. Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. The next item is something that I've asked to discuss. We had a financial planning team meeting last Friday, and we had a review, although I believe it's been updated since then, of our year-end financials, the purpose of which is, one, to kind of get a feeling of where we might be associated with free cash going into this fiscal year. Obviously, for you, Mike, in case you're aware of it, free cash is certified by the Department of Revenue